The office thought they knew him. Just the janitor, quiet, invisible, until one afternoon. A slip of the tongue changed everything, because when the CEO heard Elijah, the man who scrubbed their floors, calmly switch between languages like a diplomat at the United Nations. Jaws dropped. 9 languages. Fluent, effortless, and in that moment, the hierarchy cracked. Was this janitor who they thought he was? Or had they overlooked someone extraordinary, hiding in plain sight? What happened next left an entire company stunned and one CEO questioning everything he believed about worth, talent, and power. Elijah Brown had been the night janitor for almost 3 years. He wore the same Navy coveralls, pushed the same mop bucket, and carried himself with the same quiet humility day after day. The employees barely noticed him. They walked past without looking. Conversation stopped when he entered the rooms. His presence was an afterthought, background noise in the machinery of corporate life. But Elijah noticed everything. While scrubbing windows, he overheard sales pitches. Empty promises dressed as confidence. While cleaning boardrooms, he studied charts left behind on whiteboards, numbers manipulated to look better than they were. And while polishing the lobby floors, he caught the anxious shuffle of employees rehearsing presentations under their breath. He listened. He was absorbed. He remembered. What no one knew was that Elijah carried a secret far larger than a mop or a paycheck. His life before janitorial work had been marked by displacement. Parents who moved across borders, years in refugee camps, schools where lessons shifted from French to Arabic to Spanish, depending on the country that would take them. By necessity, Elijah learned to adapt. By survival, he learned to speak. 1 language turned to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 9. But here in the glass tower of Whitman Global Industries, all of that was invisible. To them, he was just the janitor. Until one day, a chance moment cracked the illusion. The CEO, Richard Whitman, overheard Elijah quietly helping a lost visitor in Italian, then in Mandarin, then, seamlessly, in Russian. Richard stopped in his tracks. The entire lobby froze. For the first time, someone saw Elijah, and the chain reaction of that moment would ripple through every corner of the company. After that lobby moment, whispers spread like wildfire. "Did you hear the janitor?" 9 languages? Impossible. At first, some dismissed it as a trick. Maybe he memorized phrases. Maybe it was a coincidence. But Richard Whitman couldn't shake it. He called Elijah into his office. The same office where executives begged for budgets and department heads defended failures. Elijah walked in with calm eyes, shoulders squared, mop bucket left in the hallway. Richard tested him. French, effortless. Arabic, poetic. Japanese, subtle, precise, respectful in its form, one by one. The CEO rattled off languages he'd picked up in business travel, and Elijah responded with fluency that left no doubt. By the time Richard switched to German, the room had grown quiet. Secretaries lingered by the door. Staff poked their heads in. The whispers turned to stunned silence. There was no denying it now. The janitor was a polyglot genius, but this revelation sparked more than awe. It ignited tension. Some executives felt threatened. Why is he here? If he's that skilled, what's his angle? Others scoffed. A janitor who speaks 9 languages? Sounds like a waste. Yet Richard saw something different. He saw the possibility. Instead of hiding Elijah, he brought him into meetings as a translator. Clients from Europe lit up when they realized they didn't need interpreters. Investors from Asia leaned in closer when Elijah addressed them in their mother tongue. Deals that once seemed shaky suddenly found footing. Communication barriers dissolved. Trust bloomed. But with success came jealousy. One VP sneered, "Are we really letting the janitor run negotiations now?" Another whispered, "This will make us look weak, like we don't have talent in-house." The irony was brutal. Elijah had been in-house all along. They just never noticed. The board grew restless. Some wanted to elevate him. Others wanted him gone. And as the tension boiled, Richard made a decision that would leave the entire office stunned. The quarterly board meeting was always tense. Executives armed with slides, charts, excuses. But this time, Richard walked in with Elijah at his side. Gasps rippled through the room. Without preamble, Richard invited Elijah to sit, not at the back, but at the table. Then Richard spoke. "This man has done more for our company in 2 weeks than some of us have in 2 years. Murmurs. Objections. Faces. Turning red, Richard silenced them with a hand. Talent is not always where you expect to find it. But when you see it, you elevate it. That's what leadership means." He turned to Elijah. "Elijah, from this moment forward, you are no longer our janitor. You are our director of global communications." The room erupted, some in applause, some in outrage. But no one could deny the decision. Elijah rose slowly. His eyes scanned the room, the same executives who once stepped over him in the hallways, in 9 different languages, one after another. He thanked them: French, Mandarin, Arabic, Hindi, Russian, Swahili, Spanish, Italian, English. By the time he finished, there was silence. A silence that carried weight. A silence that acknowledged history being made. The janitor who once went unseen was now the bridge connecting nations, investors, and futures. And for the rest of the company, the message was clear. Greatness doesn't always wear a suit. Sometimes it carries a mop.